versus LGD. That's a pretty good
pretty
one.
good. I like the looks of Rave versus IG.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
I feel like you got that nice kind of mix of teams there. Rave, I feel really promising. IG, kind of fun to watch. But LG versus TongFu is gonna be a great match too.
Yeah, definitely. So, I don't know, guys. Is it time just to look at TongFu LGD? They're in the draft. Is it time? Do we let Syndra have another break here?
Nah, Syndra, say you're staying for the draft.
You're here for the draft.
I'll be on for the
He's
draft.
got 3 pockets. He's staying for the draft.
Nah, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah,
I'm done with you guys.
Yeah. So have you had some good games today?
Yeah, let me see. I can't remember which games I cast from.
Here's the schedule.
Cool.
Yeah, so let me have a look. I think EG versus VG Gaming was pretty good.
He thinks. He's not sure.
EG versus MVP was also a pretty promising game. MVP messed up a little bit toward the end, but it could have been a really close game, and I think MVP could have also won that. So I think MVP might be looking a little better than we gave them credit for in the start. They won their first game. The second game, they did not have their trademark Warlock or anything like that. They just had solid picks and did a good job.
They're one of the, if there was like which team
game.
am I like most confident will finish bottom 4, I would have said probably MVP and TongFu. Like those were the two I'd probably be most confident would be bottom 4. But yeah, I agree. MVP have definitely surprised.
The first game that MVP played against was it? It was the Big Dogs, right? Big God, I think, was their first game.
No,
a newbie. It was newbie.
Yeah,
I knew it was. Yeah, okay. So it felt more like newbie just letting them get whatever they wanted. More. I mean, MVP played well, but newbie did not play well.
No, I mean newbie did give MVP the Warlock, which is what they wanted. But end of the day, it's not like Warlock's a broken hero. Like no other team's really picking Warlock.
But they still gave him the space.
Yeah, they gave MVP what they want. But I mean, if newbie get what they want, they should be able to beat MVP regardless of whether they give them Warlock. So
you would think.
Newbie just didn't play well. I don't think it's like they didn't do their research. I think it's more just newbie didn't play well.
Combination perhaps. So, okay, let's talk LGD TongFu. We got a draft starting here. TongFu, whoa, big surprise, spin to win, Troll Warlord and Axe. It's LGD that do things a little different. Bat Rider, Ancient Apparition, their opener.
Let me see. I think LGD had the first overall pick. I think they just took the Bat Rider as the absolute first pick, and they did the other game of LGD I cast, which was against Rave. They did the exact same thing, and the way they built their lineup was that they had the Bat Rider initiate, and surprise!
Whoa.
So the Bat Rider opened the fight, and then they had a Medusa as their main carry. Okay. So whenever Bat Rider pulled someone into them, they would just stone gaze, and the enemy team could not counter initiate. It's like having Bat Rider with Silencer together. And I think Sunsfan made a really good point when we cast the game. He was like, stone gaze is like, it's like a mini Song of the Siren, in the sense that it kind of freezes the fight where you can't really do anything if you're the enemy team in the direction, but at the same time it also doesn't make the target you want to kill immune. So it's like a really powerful combination they had.
Yeah.
And you see, it looks like TongFu have their number on that. They banned Medusa as the third one.
Yeah.
In that game it was Sarlar playing it solo mid. I was uncertain about their draft because I thought Wraith had really good picks. They could not play their lineup because of Medusa. Troll couldn't go into fights. Like,
wow.
That's a really good counter to this kind of face rush style where you have multiple physical damage carries that just want to run at you. Stone Gaze, #1 counter. Amazing ability. So, out with the Medusa.
Yeah, good news for TongFu then. That counter's taken out of the pool. The LGD band's a little fun here also. Slark and then the Phoenix taken out.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen Phoenix banned, I think, in this tournament.
Yeah, I think so.
Not quite sure what the reasoning is. I mean, LGD's heroes right now are not good against Phoenix. That's true, but maybe do TongFu play it?
It may just be a TongFu special. I cast them a few times during the qualifiers, but the team that was picking a little bit was eHome. They played it as a support a couple of times, so it's a hero that a few teams will pick every now and then, but I don't know. Teams
There's no pictures.
So.
Okay.
Bat Rider is I mean, we're seeing in the Eastern scene it's really popular. I feel like in the Western scene the teams are kind of just not really playing much Bat Rider anymore. It's not getting banned. It's not even getting picked. I mean, what is it about this hero? Do you feel?
I think it's going to get picked again. It's kind of difficult to say exactly why it fell off as much as it did in popularity, because I think the way teams play and also the previous metagame, I think Bat Rider is just a stable. It's a good initiator. It's a good offlaner. In pretty much any sort of strategy, you can make Bat Rider work. How often do you see a strategy where, like, when the game is over, Bat Rider was a bad pick? That's, like, almost never the reasoning, right? So it just seems pretty solid. It's about trends, as always, and the fact that, I mean, during this tournament, if Bat Rider starts seeing some success, you'll easily see Cloud9 just pull it out for Bone 7. Yeah. You will see probably, I don't know if Secret plays it on Zai. I don't know if that's one of his heroes. That's one of
no
the
one knows what Zai's heroes
are.
Yeah.
EG Universe is really good on it, and for the Chinese teams, we don't even need to mention, because I feel like every single Chinese team has a Bat Rider. So it can definitely make a comeback. And for LGD, the fact that they first picked it the last 2 games I've seen with them, I think is an indication that either it's just them or we're going to be seeing that more.
I don't think it's just them. We've seen other Chinese teams already
Yeah.
first banning out the Bat Rider because they don't want to deal with it. So I would expect him to be pretty high on that pick ban rate.
I think it was one of like maybe the most banned hero during the Asia qualifiers for DAC. It was just we hardly ever get to talk because it was always first banned alongside like heroes like the Jug and whatnot.
Wispy.
And another really valuable thing about Bat Rider right now is how he makes it more difficult for these. I don't know what we should call them. These kind of heroes like Troll and Axe. We keep calling the overall strategy face rush, but in a sense you could call these heroes like brawlers. They just go in and they want to just fight and hit, right?
Bruisers,
if you will. Yeah, either of those, right? They're going in and they're attacking. They are really based on being mobile during the fight, like running back and forth, running between targets. Sticky napalm is really annoying, and the flame break, also just the knockback, creating a little bit of space during the team fight can be really useful. So Bat Rider has a lot of great utility against this kind of stuff. In addition to obviously the key choice having the lasso with Force Staff. So it's Bat Rider for me is one of the heroes who during this tournament can become. I always or we always in general talk about how tournaments have their own metagame. I think Bat Rider will be a big pick going forward. So wouldn't be surprised to see him picked first phase again, which.
He's always a safe pick, like you said. He always works. It's never a bad pick. So having like a kind of safer option that you can pick early on in the draft and know it's going to fit. It reminds me a bit like the old Brewmaster, especially. Like you pick Brewmaster, he fits into any strategy. Doesn't really reveal too much. It's just it just fits.
And in addition to that, Venge is often banned in the first phase, which is one of the good counters to Bat Rider. So the fact that is a trendy pick too that you get out of the pool just makes Bat Rider that much better. And even in addition to that, no one plays Shadow Demon either. So makes Bat Rider a really good pick. They get the
will still grab something out of the Abaddon.
That'll work against
cleanse off that that lasso maybe kind of sometimes if you're in the right spot at the right time.
Very short cast range though.
Very difficult.
And if once you have the Force Staff away immediately, it's not really a guaranteed thing.
Pretty much any good bat can play around in Abaddon pretty effectively. You'll see like maybe 1 or 2 cleanses a game if it's a long one.
Yeah.
Still a strong hero though. Abaddon pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you on the Abaddon hype train, GoDz? Are you still mispronouncing it? Are you still an Abaddon guy?
I prefer Abaddon.
Tisk, double tisk.
I'll go both ways though for you, Andrew.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Amazing.
All right. LGD running low on reserve time here. 4th pick. What do they need? A couple of cores.
That's the thing. LGD's draft right now. For TongFu, they're just going to draft around their own lineup. But Weaver comes out.
Weaver AA.
Synergy
Classic.
with the AA is obvious. This is really good in the laning stage against an Axe. They can easily offensive trialing with Witch Doctor, AA, Weaver. It's something that TongFu have no. Their lineup is not equipped to deal with this. I guess you could do Abaddon plus Troll plus 1 as like a strong trialing, but it's. Like, then who's gone mid? Like, Troll's kind of like their mid hero at this point.
I think no matter what hero your last pick for TongFu, you cannot beat that trialing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a solution right now
Absolutely.
to this. It's extremely powerful in its own right, and the Abaddon is not the support you want against this trialing.
Yeah, and you can maybe get like a defensive hero to keep your trialing alive, like an Earthshaker, but it's like you're not farming end of the day.
Yeah.
You're just preventing them getting kills. So.
And in addition to that, they probably want another. I'm not sure if Jakiro core really cuts it here in terms of their strategy, so they probably want another core. And if they play Jakiro support, it's totally out of the question.
Jakiro's normally run as a core nowadays, so.
Yeah, I feel like Jakiro support, I don't even really consider it. I just assume it's going to be some sort of a farming role. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody run as support. Jack.
I'm just not sure how sold I am on having Troll as your only real physical DPS against a lineup with Bat Rider and Weaver. It just seems unlikely that you can get onto the target you want and bring it down unless if Axe plays a really good game.
Yeah.
But then once again, when you look at LGD's heroes, I think they have the flexibility to just, if it turns out that the Weaver trialing, if they want to run that, is easy, they can rotate a support and just shut down Axe as well.
I feel like they want some kind of carry that's going to benefit a bit from the battle trance, like your Void, your Sniper. I mean, Void's pretty good with lockdown against like the Weaver in general.
Not the best synergy with Axe, though.
No,
but really good with Jakiro. So that could work, and it's a counter to Weaver, which I still think they absolutely need. So
Venom's going to be the call though. So
is it a core Venom or a core Jakiro? Or is it just a Axe in the jungle with a...
I feel like this is a Venom. I think they need the Troll in the safe lane in case there is that offensive trial. And he's like your best bet as far as your cores. I mean, it's still not going to be able to beat that, but...
so what is it, like an Axe Jakiro off lane here with Venom mid, Troll safe?
I think if they're looking to do that kind of off-lane, running Axe Jakiro together is pointless. Then you might as well run the Jakiro there and jungle the Axe. Because if they run a dual off-lane like that and LGD rotate their supports, that lane is completely shut down. There's no solution. So
and I don't see an easy way for TongFu to set up these lanes that'll make perfect sense.
If they do like the safe lane trial, Axe versus Batrider, that's a pretty bad matchup for the Axe. I feel.
Yeah, it is.
Like, that's actually one of the matchups where Axe as a solo offlaner will potentially just straight up lose.
So Quap last pick for LGD.
I want to say if Kabu plays support for TongFu, right?
He plays offlane.
Or does he play offlane? Okay. He just in my mind. I haven't seen much TongFu lately. To me, Kabu is just a support player. But this is a team
flexible.
I'm not so.
He has played support some.
It's a team I don't know too well. I have the feeling now that if LGD get to put the lanes the way they want, they could win all 3 lanes, and this could be a really short game.
LGD have such high snowball potential here, and I mean, like you say, the lanes they could so easily just win all 3 lanes with this draft.
U9, is he their mid player right now? I know he plays mid most of the time. So it'll be Troll mid, and that means safe lane. Who's their carry?
I think Zinkyu's support with Axe going to be playing the farming role.
All right, so Axe will be the farmer safe lane. I guess that means support Jakiro is probably the way to do it.
We'll see.
If they offlane Veno, he's going to be useless this game. That's out of the question.
That'll be like the offlane Warlock last game that we got to cast, I think.
All right. Well, thank you, Syndron, for your input. We'll let you get some well-and-rest. You guys can catch Syndron later on the DC channel. He'll be casting the last 2 or 3 games up on the upstairs studio from twitch.tv/Dota Cinema. But
Cinderwin and Suns fan, yeah, that'll be the last duo.
He's actually got, and he's gonna be casting the next game here in the studio. So
wow.
All right.
Good luck, have fun.
So Dota 2 time.
Dota 2 time, gods. TongFu versus LGD. Let's introduce some teams here. I'm taking LGD. No argument. All right, Sylar. He'll be on the Weaver in the safe lane. Looks like MMY takes the Witch Doctor, headed up to that safe lane as well. Faith on the Ancient Apparition. Yao on the Queen of Pain mid, and that'll leave In July off lane on the Bat Rider. Gets a ward down already, but now could be initiated on. No, I think he'll be okay. Still has not skilled up Firefly. Just a little scouting intel. All right.
All right. On the Radiant side, it's going to be Kian playing the Axe for this Radiant team for TongFu. Xinkyu going to be on the Jakiro in the mid lane. U9 is going to be on the Troll Warlord. And that does leave your Abaddon being played by LPC. And finally, Venomancer in the hands of Kabu will be a support Venomancer. So Jakiro as a core with the double ring of protection build.
All right. Double ring.
Oh, things are heating up here at this bottom boundary room.
Yeah, it looks like there could be a skirmish breaking out. TongFu really want to fight this. They'll press forward. Yao on the Quap, still yet to skill anything, but does just walk in, pick up the bounty. Weaver gets the top one uncontested. So already a victory for LGD.
Double bounty room, damn.
400 XP in the lead.
One nice thing TongFu did this game, Abaddon, right level 1, TP top and got the double ward down, blocking the pull camp as well as getting the observer down. This was really nice because the Weaver even like immediately ran to scout out any wards. Like he bought his items, didn't waste any time, but these wards got planted immediately by a TP in. So as far as LGD are concerned, they don't think there's any wards up here blocking the pool. Or I mean, they'll find out there's a ward blocking the pool, but they don't know exactly where it's going to be. They didn't get to scout.
Very sneaky. They won't preemptively put down some sentries. The Ancient Apparition still has one. He actually puts it in the trees here. Does that catch it? No. Oh my, it's just barely out of range. Gods, that's so painful.
That's the spot you use. You have to use 2 sentries. Like 2 sentries cover the entire thing, but this sentry where he put it covers 90% of the spots, but
yeah. Very close. Oh, nicely done here for TongFu out of the gate. So we'll be Veno hanging out down bottom with the Axe. It's a 2-1-2 for TongFu. The Abaddon now goes up top, and that means he'll be trying to support the Jakiro farming against the Weaver.
It's like some Navi, some Go Black strats. The Abaddon offlane dual lane. This is like the Funnick and Go Black duo here. And they're going to have a great time with no pull available. Faith has bought a second set of sentry wards. I think this is was almost essential for him to get this pull camp. Otherwise, things were just you just can't fight this dual lane without having pulls.
Yeah, and he will finally get that counter ward victory, and still has a sentry to spare. So good news on that front. Are there any other sentries here for TongFu? Nope.
Yeah, they can't do too much.
So Weaver should be okay now. Get some farm going.
And down the bottom lane, LGD running a dual lane of their own. It's actually going to come in and look to contest these pulls a little bit. In July, kind of aggressive here with this jungle play. He's just going in the jungle to farm some neutral camps right now, which is, I guess, as about when the rune's spawning, so he wants to kind of get control of this rune area. Happy to use the Firefly and secure the rune as well.
Down bottom, MMY initiated on. Out comes the Battle Hunger. Early point, giving him that movement speed advantage. The Gale connects. Berserker's call into the tower, and they'll get the first blood. Cask bouncing around, slowing him down a little bit, but it's Veno with all that bonus gold, and looks like the Banana Man going to grab a nice set of boots there.
Nice. They know it's safe. They had the vision to know that Bat went for that rune, and also know that's an illusion rune. So they're like, well, he can't do anything with illusion. It's not a haste rune or anything completely, really threatening to us.
Yeah, smart dive. And even Axe diving the tower, the ideal hero for it. When he uses Berserker's call like that, he gets at least 2 seconds of basic immunity against the tower with all that armor. So good stuff from TongFu out of the gate here. Mid lane, let's check in on that. The Queen of Pain versus Troll matchup. Seems like old U9 having a pretty good time. 15-10 versus the 8-3 Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it's a tough. I feel like it's a kind of even matchup here. Troll just does so well with last hitting, and last hitting is not really Yao's forte. Not to hate on the guy. He's a great tempo controller, but his laning stage is definitely, as a player, one of his weaker areas. He often struggles to get farm, but he makes up for it in the mid game with really nice rotations, good movement around the map. But a player kind of notorious for being under farm but having a lot of kills and helping get Sylar massive. Like when you've got a player like Sylar, one of the best carries out there on your team, creating space for him is a great thing in itself. But sometimes it's like, well, he should have more farm, and right now I feel like he's getting dominated in this lane much harder than he should be.
Yeah. Well, as Winner was talking about earlier, Queen of Pain, one of those momentum-based heroes that you need to put some effort into shutting her down. And if you can't do that with a 1v1 matchup, do it with your supports. And here TongFu getting some value, as Troll seems to be doing pretty damn well against her himself. Not only with his raw CS score, but 14 denies in 4 minutes. That is absurd.
That's crazy.
So Quap may start having a little bit of an experience issue here as well if this deny keeps up.
Yeah.
All right, gets a bounty rune, so that'll help.
He takes it over. Injuly had a ball as well. He was kind of, I almost think just give it to Injuly. Injuly's making stuff happen, taking the Radiant jungle, contesting the bot lane. And Yao's not going to do anything with this bounty rune. It's going to help sustain him in the mid lane a little bit, but if it's like a haste or a DD, if it's like a DD maybe, but as a bounty rune, I feel like just give it to the bat at this point.
Right. Well, Troll gets the top rune. It was a regen of his own, so it'll be okay to spam out those axes a little bit. Maybe get aggressive on the Queen of Pain and actually forces Yao to blink back already. At this rate, Yao...
Bottom lane, MMY caught out.
Oh, is that going to be another kill? Axe on his way in, and the Battle Hunger... Oh, it just makes it so easy for him.
Witch Doctor just walked in too close to the Axe. Bit of a misplay there, right when there was a big creep wave as well.
Yeah. It's no fun. Faith, up top. Gonna walk right into the Jakiro, but no, Jakiro wants the creeps. Forget about the Ancient Apparition. He just wants the tomato, and he'll find it.
Yeah, so all 3 lanes going fantastic for TongFu. This is the ideal start. A couple of kills, but all their core heroes getting farmed. The dual lane's not really doing amazing as far as shutting down the Weaver farm, but that's because Faith de-wadded the pull. He had to get the extra sentry, so in some ways that's going to hurt Faith a lot. It's going to mean slower boots for him and just a lot more money invested to secure this safe lane. He's also not rotating and helping other lanes, so say all in all, it's an overall victory in the laning stage for TongFu.
I think absolutely.
Which is surprising. We talked about how strong LGD's lanes potentially are. You've got this AA Weaver synergy. You had the Witch Doctor who can trial lane.
Oh, U9 taking a lot of damage. They've got 2 points in the Maledict, so this will do a lot of damage after the screen. But hey, there's that TP in from good old Abaddon. Throws out the shield, the heal, and still this Maledict going to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, just not enough.
He's back to full with this bottle too. Now.
That's crazy. Oh, now in July, caught by the Venomous Gale. He'll be able to Firefly down, or will he? Axe has a couple of creeps nearby. Not going to get the spins he's looking for. Puts out another Battle Hunger. It looks like the bat will be all right, at least for now. Gets the haste rune.
Get the 6-minute rune. They know what it is, though, but LGD just can't really catch a break. They get a ward down the mid lane. That also gets scouted out, so TongFu have all the information right now. Like, they're just on top of everything. They're doing well. The Axe is going to have a reasonably well-timed Blink Dagger in the safe lane. The Jakiro is getting all he needs in the off lane. Trolls gets kept alive by the Abaddon, and that's all LPC has to keep on doing, just protecting the mid lane. He denies vision on the high ground, so LGD can't even easily get aggressive without this vision now.
Yeah, every time Yao comes up to that creep wave, just gets smacked in the face by Whirling Axes. Up top, though, initiation onto the Jakiro. Bat Rider using that haste rune, and even the chilling touch from the Ancient Apparition making a big difference, but in time's IPC, and yeah, this one's going to be a disaster. Doesn't save the Jakiro. Lasso was ready and waiting for him. It'll be a double for In July.
Yeah, that was such a high-risk TP when the Bat Rider has a haste like that, and that's one of those just haste rune making things happen. Like, you get a rune like that, you have to get a lot off of that, and In July does exactly that. So.
Yeah. The haste rune isn't there. The Abaddon TP makes a lot of sense, but with it, there's just no way. Unless the Abaddon 6. Maybe that changes things a little, but only level 4.
What an OP rune, man.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Jakiro, is he in a little bit of trouble here? Sylar comes in, he's poking him. Nope, okay. I'm pulling the Merlini here. I'm just like, oh, a fight maybe? It might break out. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I love it when that guy gets excited, dude. He's like, I like the setup more than I like the kills. I'm like, well, that's cool, but stop freaking me out. He always gets me proud. I'm like, what am I missing? Nothing's happening. He's like, oh, no, never mind. They didn't do what I thought they were going to do. I'm like, well, then shut up until they do it.
Well, if he doesn't do it, then you miss. Then
you don't get
setup.
the Merlini hype. Yeah, that's true. It's good. It's worth it just to hear him get excited.
It is.
Oh, God. Quap really in Strug City, though. Yao is the one, as you mentioned, maybe struggling a little bit with this farm. Still recoverable. You know, nothing too bad, but not going to be that tempo controller quite yet.
Yeah. He's got his ulti back up. Feels like he needs to go and do something since he's not really farming amazingly. He needs to be looking for kills here, maybe with the Bat Rider. But Bat's, now that he's kind of done what Yao's meant to be doing, which is get some kills, get himself on the board. At the same time, it was the Bat who picked up the haste rune. If that's Copy picks up the haste rune, instead it's him going top, and he's the one making the plays instead to get that double kill. But
yeah.
As a result, Bat's now going to look to finish off the Blink, which I think is fine. Like, he's helped out. He's secured that top lane a little bit of farm, and In July now realizing his Blink Dagger is going to be what's going to get more kills. That's the thing. It's In July who's going to get those 2 kills, now get his Blink and do more. What about Yao? Like, he needs to step it up.
Yeah. Blink Dagger out on the axe here at the 9-minute mark with Tranquil Boots and a magic wand, not even a stick, so a couple extra little stats going his way. Also picks up a smoke. This axe is ready to fight. Really good blink timing on him. He's actually number 1 on net worth. Bat Rider will get his at just around the same time.
Okay.
So lots of tempos to be controlled here, GoDz. Things may start heating up.
Yeah. Bat doesn't have the smoke, but it's going to be towards mid lane where TongFu is smoked up with the axe, looking for Yao, I imagine, on the Queen of Pain. And
double damage on U9 also.
Blink Call is just a short kill. Yao, maybe realizing something is up, has backed right off. He's actually going to smoke with the Bat. So I think he's like, I'm a Quap, I'm not farming, I'm not ganking, this needs to change. Where are you going in July? Bring me with you. So this smoke for TongFu's, the timing, is just, if Bat had like 30 seconds slower Blink Dagger, they'd probably kill Yao. But
bottom tower is under attack.
Timing luck going the way of LGD perhaps, or... And also probably Yao just realizing like, hey, this axe has been missing, like this mid lane's not safe, I need to get out of here.
Both teams with the same idea, Blink Dagger, smoke rotation, and it looks like neither will yield an easy kill. Bat Rider flying around the tree line looking for the Kiro, but good positioning, maybe some good map sense here as he stays way back at that tier 2 with a lot of heroes missing off the map. And now they reveal themselves, and he's thinking, yep, glad I backed up for that.
Radiant's top tower is under
So
attack.
Bat blinks out. I think they've seen the Axis Blink Dagger in that sequence of play, but towards top lane we go, and not really something LGD can reliably pressure.
Yeah, they will actually back out as that Liquid Fire flies through. Bottom lane, Sylar doing what damage he can to the Veno, but Kabu will be able just to TP home.
Someone had to stop the Veno push, and Weaver's actually good here to send there, because you can force the Veno completely out of the lane.
Jakiro up top, the setup, the lasso, they'll fly through, even an Ice Blast will connect. And I don't think there's any way THD survives this one. No, certainly not. Witch Doctor secures the kill, and I feel like this Witch Doctor build has kind of taken over from the Voodoo Restoration. 3 points in the Maledict, not even maxing the Paralyzing Cask. It's a lot of Witch Doctors prioritizing it now.
It seems to be working. I think especially against these like Axe Troll, these tanky frontline brawlers as they're being called, and it just gives you that bit of extra damage a lot of these lamps are maybe missing.
Yeah.
In the laning stage especially, because these are these kind of heroes that want to get up in your face. Axe wants to come up to you and spin, and that's where Witch Doctor was in that offlane against the Axe. Did die once or twice, didn't actually play it all that well, but in theory, if Axe is trying to be that aggressive, you can use the Maledict against him, especially if he's tanking up creep waves to go for those spins, taking extra damage on top of the Maledict.
Yeah. Weaver, the haste rune in the bottle. Power Treads, Ring of Aquila, Magic Wand. Just some good early skirmish items here for Sylar. No Hand of Midas. Ready to fight if need be. Yao picking up his Power Treads now. Null Tally. Still no progress towards the Orchid, but
yeah,
at least getting those core items as well. Getting some extra stats to him.
He's still yet to get himself on the board. Just a 38 CS as well at 12 minutes in. He's number 6 on the last hits and, well, 5th on net worth. It's a very Yao thing. He's never really one of those top farming heroes, and hasn't yet to make up for it this game with farm. That's where I feel like the Queen of Pain pick, I think Queen of Pain is kind of good against this draft and a good hero in general, but it doesn't seem to be like a Yao hero. I'm surprised he didn't go for that kind of just like typical Yao Ember Spirit, which is normally where they go for as far as his hero.
Yeah, both these teams, though, very good about kind of predicting the smoke movements. So TongFu smoke towards the mid lane, Quap kind of backs up, and at the same time, LGD smoke up. Now they'll head bottom. Jakiro tries to TP out, Flame Break to stop it. They'll save the lasso this go around, recognizing he's solo, and they get a quick pick there.
He got the tower last hit. The Weaver didn't go for the tower deny because it was as they initiated, so.
And now TongFu gets the tier 1 tower also in the mid.
I think it's worth it for Jakiro. I'll take that. I'd take that
2
trade.
tower kills. Yeah, I think so.
If LGD get denied, it's probably not. It's probably like 50-50 there, but I feel like that's fine for Jakiro. He tanks a smoke gank. If that's a smoke gank on one of the kind of more tempo-centric heroes, the carry troll or the axe, it's a bigger deal. But I feel like for Jakiro, that's slightly worth it.
Yeah, definitely. So bottom tier 1, we'll take a little bit of chip damage. LGD still kind of grouped up in the tree line nearby. And looks like TongFu actually start to rotate up top. Both teams eager to keep pushing. A nice little double stack here for TongFu. Sharing is caring as Troll and Axe work together to bring it down. The power of friendship, gods.
Neither team wanting to fight, and I think with good reason. It's kind of this awkward, like you're both kind of 5-manning one lane. It's hard to get up there to defend, especially for TongFu, because Batrider has the Firefly over trees blink initiation, which you can't really scout out too easily. You've got Venom Plague Wards, which aren't bad, but this is actually going to be LGD. They give up the push bottom lane, and TongFu should see the push isn't actually happening bottom and be ready for some kind of crazy aggression.
Yeah, and they took their vision. They're totally blind. In July, initiates onto the Troll Warlord, but where's the follow-up damage? Faith reveals himself in the tree line with the Ice Blast. They find him and isolate him. They get the Troll kill via the Shatter. Now the Quap ulti flies through. They get the kill on Axe. The Death Ward brings down the Veno. It's TongFu that are getting ripped apart. Jakiro barely lives as he TP's home, but it's a 2-for-4 trade, and LGD come out way ahead.
Wow. Okay. They just too much damage for the Troll. Couldn't really keep him alive well enough, so.
I mean, they had a lot of damage there. You've got the Quap ult, Ice Blast, all the fire being laid down, then the Death Ward in the back. This is a rough team to try and fight into at 14 minutes. And like you were pointing out before the fight, it just seemed like TongFu weren't quite ready for LGD to make that defense and just jump out of the tree line like that.
Yeah, it seemed very apparent, at least initially, that LGD were kind of 5-manning bottom lane, like trading towers, but they left one hero bottom to keep on pushing a little bit, and I guess TongFu read that as, okay, that hero's baiting, they're just waiting around in the trees, but LGD were all top. The AA was tucked in a nice little tree hole, the Batrider's wall got up there nice and early, and I think TongFu looked at it like, oh, they can't actually TP that many heroes quickly because of like, the TP cooldown timer, so
right.
LGD, they just TP to the tier 2, they were well prepared, and TongFu caught by surprise and find themselves in a bit of a tough position now. Their Troll is their only real damage in a late, like the mid to late game scenario. Veno's kind of being run as a support initially, but now transitioning into a core with Arcanes and a mech coming, but the actual damage output of Veno, Jakiro, like over time is great, but it's not really burst damage.
Yep. And U9 still just not doing that much damage. He has an Ogre Clip to go with his Morbid Mask. I want to say it'll be the beginnings of an SNY. Not a very good BKB game here. Quap, Batrider, all this. Yeah, this is. I guess you're just stopping the Ice Blast at that point.
Yeah, it's still I think eventually maybe wants a BKB. It could be a BKB just because of like the cast, the Maledict, Ice Blast.
It will be. Yeah, there you go. Mithril Hammer.
Yeah.
So it will limit their damage output, though. That's the big issue with going BKB first item here.
Yeah.
They're already having damage issues, and Troll's their big damage dealer, going to a more defensive item.
I think the Sanjin and Yasha you mentioned is kind of the more typical and I'd say maybe slightly stronger, but
Faith going back to the more what's been popular Ancient Apparition build, rushing the Hand of Midas, and now probably into an Aghanim Scepter. Got the Midas around 15 minutes. Pretty good timing for the AA. Not amazing, but definitely solid. Another 15 minutes or so, and that Aghanims will be ready to rock.
Yeah, feels like TongFu just want to kind of get to this stage where they can just start sieging towers and using the Venomancer and his ability to scout Batrider initiations and just kind of slow siege buildings with a Jakiro to their advantage. This 5-man from TongFu is going to be tricky for LGD to deal with. Probably once they have the mech, which is now. Other than that, they may be missing a few more levels on the Batten to get his like max heal as well as shield. I think is kind of nice. Axe is pretty ready to go. Has an Ogre Club to give him some more HP.
Actually, Batten grabbing that early point in Curse of Avernus. I feel like that's a little bit of a rarity. Not a big deal, but
Yeah.
See a
it's
lot of
not-
it bad and like just prioritizing Miscoil and Aphotic Shield all the way until you see that come out. Just because it's nice if he's right-clicking people, but it's just so rare in the early levels that he's actually up there fighting. He's trying to just sit in the back and heal as much as he can.
I don't know if this is really that value. It's
No.
kind of a niche. It's a neat little thing they did. But I think the Aphotic Shield having a 6-second cooldown in a fight where LG is looking to burst down one target, you heal and shield them. You want to have that next shield as soon as possible to try to keep them alive. Like that top fight, I don't know. They probably killed the troll in that 6 seconds. I'm not entirely sure, but if he got a second shield off, maybe he could have saved the troll. So
Yeah, I remember talking to Ben about this in the game. I was like, isn't that value point Curse of Avernus good? And he would just completely shit all over me. No, it's not good. Don't do it.
5% movement speed slow.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
That's basically exactly what he said. I was like, all right, noted. Curse of Avernus,
Yeah.
not value point.
Like I'm looking at these numbers, like 5% move slow, 5 attack slow,
Yeah, it's
10 attack speed bonus.
You get the 15% movement speed bonus is really the big thing because that's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a person. At the end of the day, you don't really need the movement speed that much on Abaddon because you have your ultimate, which keeps you alive. So
Yeah, well, it's the buff, so like anyone else who attacks the target gets the movement speed on your team. So that's like the one thing that's kind of cool, but yeah, that's not so hot. What is cool though is
there we go.
Roshan,
Value
TongFu moving
point.
right in.
Hey, man, the value Abaddon points helping him take Roche faster.
Yeah, that's true. They get the attack speed buff. That's nice.
They back off though. I think they.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah.
is
They've got
under
decent
attack.
damage.
They've got a ward on the high ground here, so they do have some good vision. They know LGD are around.
And LGD, I think, are also running low on smokes by now.
Yeah, but they've got the Bat Rider. They've got the Master of the Pit, so they want to be cautious.
It's more that Batrider can't fly into Roshan because of that Observer Ward. He's the Master of the Pit when your opponents don't have vision like over trees and stuff, but that ward gives them that vision.
Yep.
Radiant's top
Now
tower
U9 on the high ground here, get caught by the lasso, but he gets the BKB off first. Great reaction.
Okay.
They'll drag him to an awkward position. Death Ward comes out. Oh boy, LGD not using these big ultimates to the most of their potential. Two big ultis down, gods. Now
It was the 10-second BKB, but I think with no lasso, they want to finish Roshan. Roche is already so low here. This is risky, but Roche isn't doing much damage. Liquid Fire helping them out, and
there is a Desolator up on the Weaver. That's his big core item here. They may try to go in and contest this with the Ice Blast. Quab comes in with the ulti, does connect on 2. Troll's the one that picks up the Aegis, as it was TongFu to grab the last hit on Roche.
Oh,
LPC gets taken down. And Yao blinks down, still going to die to the Jakiri. Blinks into the fire. Oh my gosh, now Weaverman's up a little too far. Caught by the call from Axe. MMY now caught by the Jakiro. Venno falls on the backside thanks to the Bat Rider. Not really the fight LGD wanted, though. They don't burn the Aegis, trading a 3 for 2.
Yao played that fight atrociously.
He actually, it took me a second, I was like, oh, Jakiro must be on his team. He blinked into the macro pyre.
Yeah,
And that's what killed him.
Well, and initially he was stuck on top of the hill above. Well, I don't know if it was stuck. That was by choice, but
He went up here, screamed down, and then got stuck for the rest of it, right?
Yeah, the Sonic Wave only hit the
wave,
2 in the Roshan pit, but it's an Abaddon who is ultimate, so he's not killing Abaddon. The Troll is Aegis, also is full HP, so the Sonic Wave did nothing that fight, and then he blinked down. Like he could have blinked to safety. Instead, he blinked into a macro pyre, into his own death.
I actually was like, I
I
saw
am
the fire
baffled by
and
that.
thought that has to be Bat Rider fire because there's no way the Quap would just blink into macro pyre. Maybe he just thought it was the Bat fire because the graphics are similar. I don't know. In July, caught as he comes in though. Mega
apart.
kill streak ended. Troll getting huge gold out of this. He'll use his BKB and they're still fighting. Up on the high ground, Jakiro, Ice Path on 2. Yao forced to blink out. MMY says, I'm going for the Death Ward. That'll end the Aegis, but still gets dunked. Now Faith on the run. He'll get slowed down. He's going to be brought down. LGD just getting ripped apart here, gods.
That is falling apart off that Rosh. I don't know.
Look at this gold graph. It's been up and down, and all of a sudden it's just TongFu jumping to the top.
It's the Roshan was, I think, something that LGD should have just given up without a little fight there, and well,
A Force Staff? What?
now we're in a position where, ooh,
Dire's middle tower
Was
I
the
don't
Quap
know.
Force Staffed into the fire?
oh maybe.
That's what Twitch chat is telling us.
Either way, he ended up in the
has fallen.
Either way, that's not the fire you want to be in.
the Sonic Wave was what really was bizarre as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that was just a bad Force Staff then. Blink.
Well, LGD now, they're going to be in a position where TongFu are going to keep on 5-manning, taking objectives, taking tier 2 towers, and they can start slow sieging high ground. They've got the Liquid Fire, Troll with the Battle Trance, Venomancer to keep people away, and just such a nice hero against the Bat Rider in general, with the ability to scout out those Firefly initiations.
Caught by the lasso. He's got the Yule Scepter now. I was just going to comment on it, and we'll speak to the devil. We'll see it here, but just going to buy him a couple of seconds. The curse has already hit him, and he will tick down to the DOTs of death. Nice little pick off for LGD, but meanwhile in the top lane, TongFu striking right back with this tier 2 tower. Glyph not available. Looks like they'll be able to take it down without a contest.
Yep. And for LGD, they don't really want to fight into this one. They're going to have to defend the high ground, but they get a tier 1 bottom for it, so it's something. But as things stand right now, there's not much they can do to kind of slow down TongFu. U9 even picking up this value Vlad's, which is a weird item to get on your main carry, but it does suggest that TongFu want to be like going for that game-ending push, or at least a push that's going to get them racks within this Aegis time. Or well, the Aegis now gone, which makes it a bit harder, but it does suggest they want to try and go for a high ground push sometime soon to be picking up a Vlad's on your troll.
What do you think about this Quap build here? Going Treads just right into Necrobook. Has a level 2 already, opting to skip the Orchid altogether.
I think it's a decent item. I think you can't really... Orchid is not going to do you much here. It's also going to be a really late Orchid. As far as like, burning the mana of the Axe can kind of hurt his ability to get off multiple dunks in a team fight.
Speaking of Axe.
Yeah, I think the Axe is the main target. You can do a lot of damage with the Necrobook if he kills the melee one. And yeah, the mana burn is really pesky for Axe to deal with as well.
Yao just getting scouted out here by the Axe. He's got a lot of friends nearby. Radiant Vision, they don't have much intel, so they need to be a little careful how they choose to initiate this. There we go. Berserkers call on 2. BKB used. Dunk on the Ancient Apparition straight away. Quap able to blink away for now. With the movement speed from the dunk, thought they may pursue, but nope. Just going to go for a quick pick on the Ancient Apparition. Axe does have a BKB, as we saw there. That was his 10-second charge, and they get a kill out of it.
Yeah, not the best use out. Support AA for a 10-second BKB, but I mean, for TongFu, it just lets us keep on kind of looking to steamroll, gain momentum, get kill after kill, even if there's a support hero there. But they're keeping LGD kind of bottled up on their side of the base. Right now, LGD just grouped up on the high ground, not too afraid to go out. Even with heroes showing on the map at bottom, like an Axe Troll can easily catch him out and kill him even without the backup of the rest of the team.
LGD smoke outside of their base, and they'll press forward. Firefly onto the high ground, maybe thinking about the troll. If they can catch him. There we go. They'll catch him. Blink forward. Lasso right on the right on the edge of it. BKB used. Quap throws out the ult. U9 tries the man up, using that lifesteal, but they burst him down. That's a maxed out curse from the Witch Doctor, doing a lot of damage.
Just like the blink and force, like right after the force staff, he was just in range for the lasso. That was close and
really close.
Nicely played. This Bat Rider has been really on point this game. In July has been kind of the saving grace of LGD's team.
7-1-3. He's been involved in 10 of the 12 kills they've got. So yeah, sounds about right.
So TongFu back to the drawing board at this point. They're not really that far ahead. The 4,000 kind of net worth difference is nice and all, but as far as late game goes, the troll their main damage here. They've gone for a lot of these BKBs, which are going to start falling off. As far as the duration goes, troll's already down to 7 seconds. Axe is on 9, but it's still a slight concern for them. And Venno going for this kind of Ghost Scepter type build is not really gearing up towards a late game with that kind of Ags, Blink type play or anything along those lines.
It's been a weird game for the Venno because he started as support and then they sort of realized maybe we should get some farm on this guy. So now he's almost on point with the Jakiro in terms of farm priority. And it sort of left them with these 2 heroes that are now a little bit lackluster. Like Jakiro with Blink Yules is pretty good, but you know, not really closing in on the next core item, and same with Kabu. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like the Jakiro going for a mech might have been a little bit of a better option so that the Venno could start going for some damage type items. At this rate, what is the Venno going to be doing 10, 15 minutes from now?
I think even just, you could even just skip entirely over the mech as another option, but the Ghost Scepter helps him as far as staying alive versus the Weaver, but he could just go Ags. It's like over the Ghost Scepter, like the Weaver isn't going to solo kill him because you can always TP away, and the mech, you just mech TP without a Ghost Scepter, and the Weaver doesn't have enough damage to kill you during your TP, but in a fight, I guess he's worried about staying alive. But normally I just think Venomancer, it's like, well, he's that kind of like suicide bomber where he just goes in, does the damage he wants to, and then Who cares if he dies?
I was just thinking the same thing. If you're playing Veno and your goal is not to die, I'm not sure you're approaching the hero quite properly. That blink egg, if you can pay with your life to get a Poison Nova on 4 or 5 heroes, it is so worth it. The damage output is just it's impossible to deal with now. BKB doesn't cleanse it, so even if you have a 10-second BKB and you can mitigate a lot of the damage, your support's not going to be so lucky. Yeah. But enough about the build that he could have gone.
It's definitely one of those things where you're a support Veno and you're thinking, like, sure, I'm getting a lot of farm, but is that going to stay that way? Like, at some point, maybe we got to allocate some more farm elsewhere. Like, but he just kept on getting more farm. So you buy what items as you can as support. It's such like okay, you get these items which have a nice build up. Then I'm like, okay, I got 600 gold now, but am I really going to be able to farm an Ag Scepter?
When you start on the 4, you don't expect you'll have that farm priority. That's a good point.
So, as we say right now, LGD have this lineup where they're going to keep looking for pickoffs using the Batrider, and so far they've done pretty well with that. They're on the prowl once more, but not really finding too much here. Nothing in the top lane. Right now the Radiant side just kind of lingering near the mid lane, lingering near their own jungle, recognizing the threat that is this Batrider.
So Maelstrom coming out here for the Abaddon, it looks like, and we've got an SNY on the Troll. So he goes back for the SNY.
Dude, everyone on this TongFu team's going carry mode, dude. Everyone's getting farm.
Even the Abaddon, he wants to right-click.
So Maelstrom Abaddon, this is very clear indication he wants to transition to some kind of damage.
Now I understand the point in Curse of Avernus. He wants to use that sword.
He's going to be able to just push out lanes on his own somewhat. He can be a bit more aggressive, and not that he's really going to be playing that split pusher role, but building into the Mjolnir, which you can put on the axe, is the big thing out of this Maelstrom, I feel. It's going to be about the later Mjolnir on the axe, but it's a lot of money to invest if you're just for the Mjolnir on your axe.
Exactly. That's the big thing here. And what's the opportunity cost? You know, what could the Abaddon have instead? You know, another Force Staff could be good.
Yeah, he will be doing damage in fights. He's even gone like the treads. I feel like the fact he went treads suggests they've maybe run this strat before, and he's transitioned into this Mjolnir before. Well, not to mention battle trance. Like, everyone's hitting so fast in the fight, everyone gets attack speed, so he's getting a lot of Maelstrom procs.
True. They moved into Roche. It has been scattered out with the Ice Blast, but looks like LGD don't want to commit to a fight here. They'll just hand it over. It's the Troll that gets the Aegis again.
No, I really like this Maelstrom, I think. The more I think about it, it just seems to work really nicely. Because they, like, mid to late game, like we were kind of talking about, Syndra mentioned a lot during the draft, it's like Troll's their only damage, he's their only carry, but Abaddon's looking to at least kind of be that secondary carry.
Add some supplemental damage,
top tower is under attack.
Okay, Veno up to about 1,400 gold, so see what he invests in next. I feel like he can start making an Aghanims, though. At this point, it still helps him beef up, get that survivability going, and just start making those baby steps.
I don't think there's any kind of alternative items that he really needs. Alternatively, I guess the main other option is something like a Lincoln Sphere to deal with the Batrider. Or if you want a Scythe of Vice for some extra lockdown. But Corp's not playing that kind of fighting, like in-your-face kind of build. The Necro book is much more like sit back, throw your spells, play safe. So I don't think this is a Scythe of Vice game necessarily. But I guess Psylocke, BKB Deso, he's not going to have any answer to a insta-hex if he hasn't got his BKB up already. But
TongFu will take out the bottom tier 2 tower. This is the last outer tower for LGD. They don't use the glyph. And it looks like TongFu will move towards the high ground and at least try to pressure it. Force some TP reactions, force out the glyph, use that liquid fire. Battle Trance being saved for post-glyph. July comes in, lasso, but the Yules is there, locks him in place. Not going to do much with that. BKB used by the axe. It's TongFu being very aggressive. BKB on the Troll, popped also. About half damage under the tower, and now they back up and try to reset things a little.
Yeah, the back got a bit cocky there. Didn't BKB. Xingqiu with the fast Yules, and Bat could have BKB'd before he blinked in there. I think he actually timed the blink in right after LPC used his shield, so he knew the shield was on cooldown and had a small little window to get the lasso off, but completely countered, and now they may just lose the lane of racks here.
Tier 3 tower goes down. LGD don't have too many great tools to defend. They still have their big ultimates for the most part, the Sonic Wave being the main one. U9, remember, he's got the Aegis on the Troll, so TongFu feeling very comfortable even if the Troll goes down. In comes the axe, taunt just on the Witch Doctor, though. Plenty of damage to bring him down. Poison Nova from the Veno connects on quite a few heroes. Quap drops the ulti, but it only gets the Aegis. Now U9 comes back up. Can he do any damage here? No, looks like he'll just back out, but Axe is going back in. Berserker's Call will miss on both. Ancient Apparition still falls. Yao very low from the poison, caught by the ice path, and now he gets brought down. This is a lane of barracks for TongFu, who are getting pretty dangerously close to upsetting LGD. Now they'll just rotate mid. Buyback status, none on the AA, none on the Witch Doctor. Quap has it, but does she burn it?
Yeah, starting off 0-2 to the day, TongFu causing a pretty big upset here should they be able to seal the deal. And with mid lane under pressure here, going to force out the buyback.
And now Lasso's back up. They go into U9, but BKB's a cooldown as well. Sylar taking a lot of damage. Weaver goes down. Now in July, BKB on the run. He's probably going to go down. The Axes will be enough to finish him off. Now Ice Path on 2 off to the side. At least gets off a dual breath. A little bit of liquid fire action. Enough time for the melee or mid lane tier 3 tower to go down. Axe wants the taunt. He'll find it. The Ice Path sets it up. MMY comes in, but it just doesn't matter. The dunk is there, doing a lot of damage to the Axe. Axe going man mode. It's a battle of the men, and the red man will win it. Now there's only one left alive. It's the Ancient Apparition. This one long team fight could actually be GG for TongFu.
It's looking all over. They could just go for that last lane here with 4 alive. No battle trance for the time being, but hey, you got 20 seconds with just an AA. What's he going to do?
Yeah,
He's got some cold feet, but U9 have brought their winter boots to the team fight here, and, well, they're going to be looking to seal the deal. I don't think there's anything this Ancient Apparition can do about it.
No buybacks, 4,000 gold swing off that. It's now a 14,000 gold lead. Even if TongFu don't end the game here, this is about as crippling as damage gets outside of Mega Creeps.
Yeah. It's... They don't have Aegis for the time being, but
and a dieback for the Quap too, so say goodbye to your item progression.
I mean, next time they come at LGD, they can have another tier 4 item. U9's going to have a Skadi. Abaddon's going to have his Mjolnir, it looks like. He's got the recipe at least. Hyperstone not purchased, so still a bit of a ways to go, but everyone's just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, looking at net worth now. Things looking a little more lopsided. The Troll topping the charts, feeling very strong. What's this Courier got? I reckon a couple of things. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a Scotty coming out for the Troll. And he's got it. So you thought he was beefy before, GoDz. Just wait till you see him now. Veno off that fight. I'm not sure if I can really get an Ags out. What am I talking about? Right-click it. Easy.
I got 4K gold. What do I buy?
Yeah, let's
Why
get
not?
the Ags. That was Poison Nova actually did a lot of work in the initial fight. And it ended up being kind of like 2 fights spread out. Uh-oh, they'll find the Abaddon. He gets caught by the Lasso, but he's got to borrow time here. Trying to pull him to the high ground, but they can't quite get him there in time. Oh, boy, LGD just can't catch a break. Now on the other side, the Troll going right in. And they might still get the kill on the Abaddon. He's out of mana. The Weaver does manage to bring him down. Hero in a very forward position. Gets off the Macro Pyre Ice Path. It's going to be a 1-for-2. U9 with the BKB on. Just trying to buy time. Maybe trying to bait them out before the Cavalry can get here. In comes the Axe. Gets the taunt on 2. It looks like Quap here with the ulti. Does hit U9. Looks like they'll find the kill on the Troll. Axe just tunnel visioning all over the Faith. He will probably find the kill here, but now Kaboo left behind gets off the Poison Nova. It's a 2-for-4. TongFu starting to throw away this little lead they picked up for themselves. Gets the dunk now on the Bat Rider. The Poison Nova doing some work. Gets the call out on Sylar. Gets the dunk there as well. Oh, no.
Sylar dying is really bad.
It's a triple kill for the Axe. He's tearing it up. Now in July, he buys back, and it looks like he will end this streak. Yep, it's going to be Bat Rider to end the godlike streak of 800 gold.
Axe buddy, I don't know if you want to go diving in.
Who actually got the net worth gain out of that, though? You look at the team fight recap. It is LGD. Okay,
yeah,
they get about a 3,500 net worth gain despite the buyback.
Yeah, I guess so. Behind Sylar just wrecked face that fight. He just got kill after kill. No one really dealt with him until the Axe finally is like, oh, I better use my call on this Weaver and kill the Weaver off. But
that was such a cocky fight from TongFu, though. That was just running in one at a time. I've got a BKB and a Scotty. Let's fight. Oh, wait, I can't handle it. And then
the way Axe ended it, it's like, let's just go blink to the high ground. And
exactly.
He could have just walked back, picked up the gem, and just said, hey, we just got an okay fight. I got the gem.
Yeah, that was just TongFu not on the same page. Everybody doing something different. The Jakiro in way too deep. Using the Macro Pyre Ice Path just for the Witch Doctor, I think. Just trying to find what kills they could. And this game's not over yet. 2 lanes at Barracks is pretty crippling. It's still like a 16,000 net worth lead for LGD, but a few more, for TongFu rather, a few more fights like that, and LGD can start clawing their way back into this. Again, in July, haste it up. Lasso onto Kaboo, takes him to the high ground. Venomous Gale will not connect, but what does the Venomancer do? Oh, the Flame Break takes him to the low ground. Playing with him here. Jakiro coming on in. They're going to try to set it up on in July and turn it around. You want to be cheeky.
Venom's going to live. Oh, dear.
Kaboo lives. They force out a BKB on in July. And he'll run. That was a very strange sequence of events. Why did he flame break him down?
I guess he thought the damage would make them shatter, but he wasn't low enough. That was a little bizarre, for sure. So, top lane now in a rough spot. They know there's no lasso for at least a little bit. 15 seconds. It's a level 3 lasso, so pretty short cooldown. But that's going to be 15 seconds where LGD are going to take a lot of damage to this tier 3 tower.
They've got a glyph right away, so now TongFu, if they get any kind of an edge here, they can sort of just run into the structures. There are no buybacks available for the Dire, so the LGD, they need a miracle here, gods.
Oh, Bat finds a nice pick up on the side, and there's no shield.
That's
Not
the
right
miracle
away.
they needed. Yule's out onto the bat. Now the rest of the fight breaks out. Witch Doctor goes down first in July. Shortly after, Quap with the ult just does minimal damage. It gets a few heroes softened up, but they've already lost 2. It's a 5-on-3. Tier 3 Dower goes down without a glyph. I think this means Megas. There it is. GG from LGD. Just no way they can hold. Man.
Well, bit of a surprise.
Abaddon got a Mask of Madness before he finished his Mjolnir. Forget about the Mjolnir buff, gods. He needs to right-click fast.